Hello, everybody. This is Phil McDonnell with SWAT Environmental coming to you live with a very special guest, Rick Saulen, more affectionately known to his fan base as Radon Rick, one of the top minds, top experts in the entire radon industry globally. And today he's going to spend a few minutes with us sharing some thoughts for our homeowners on how they can have some peace of mind around a radon mitigation installation, as well as, quite frankly, how to prepare for an installation. But before we get into that, a couple of quick things about Radon Rick. First off, he's with Radonaway. Now, Radonaway is an industry giant, a holistic one-stop shop propping up the radon industry, equipment supplier to radon contractors, and provide laboratory testing for all manners of radon tests that are occurring across the country. And then, of course, providing certification and training to provide the credentials and knowledge for the professionals across the industry. Radon Rick's got 32 plus years with Radonaway. Here's the thing: 20 plus years in the field experience. Now, we've all heard of the 10,000 hour rule. Radon Rick's got 10,000 plus projects under his belt, whether that's on the design side, whether that's on the bidding side, whether that's on the installation side. But just try to comprehend that number: over 10,000 projects in the radon space that he has been a part of. The last 12 years, he's been operating in a capacity to help really share a lot of that expertise and knowledge and everything that he's learned and paying it forward. He's going to share a little bit about what that means in just a second. And so much of that, whether that's the most basic and fundamental radon mitigation installation or complex of all sorts, he's seen it and done it all. Radon Rick is also very instrumental in working with the engineering team with Radonaway as they go through product design and help build out the products for the industry. And then the last thing I'll say is he's very involved from a training standpoint, and whether that's classroom training or being an expert on panels that are designing training curriculum for the industry. All that to say, there's very few minds that have what Radon Rick has, and so I'm excited to be able to speak with him here today. With that in mind, Rick, can you take just a second and maybe and by the way, I forgot the best part. Just recently, and by recently, a few weeks ago, Radon Rick was awarded the Presidential Award from our Industries Association, which is just about the most prestigious award that you can get in this industry. And it was a summation of just all the things I just described, but it was very, very, very inspiring to see Rick get awarded the Presidential Award from the world's largest radon association. So congratulations on that, Rick. But if you could take a second and just kind of share with everyone what you do today, how you impart that knowledge to all the different people that talk to you each and every day about complex systems, complex designs, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure. Phil, thank you very much for having me on and those kind words. I here at Radonaway, my daily duties. I'm in the phones probably 9 hours a day, and I have been, like you mentioned, for the last 12 years. Our customer base, from the small one-man shops to the larger professional corporations that are out there, on a daily basis, whether it's which fan to choose, what diameter pipe. Does the design project could be something that's 800 square feet or 1,000,000 square feet. It could be for radon mitigation, moisture control, vapor intrusion, which are VOCs, chemicals, chemical recovery. So on a daily basis, I what I've learned in the last 12 years and developed a method. The most important tool that I have, at my fingertips, I actually have is my ears. I listen first. I listen to the contractor. I listen to the situation. It's typically the after the second or third or fourth trip to a site that they can't mitigate. And basically just taking the time to kind of rewind the project and then come forward to see how they got to the point where they're at. And more often than not, a lot of the answers are in what they're doing. It's not like they're doing the wrong thing. It just means they're too close to the situation to see that the most of the answers are there. So it's my job to kind of peel back the layers and basically explain to them, you know, what the question is, what did I do wrong? I've been there 5 times, and I still can't get the levels down. And my answer to them is, well, you should have contacted me 4 trips ago, and just give me the makeup of the situation, and then step by step I'll ask a number of different questions, and basically I'm painting a picture in my mind, and the mental Rolodex of all those thousands of projects are sitting at my fingertips. I may not have thought about a job for 15 years, but this situation kind of brings up similarities, and I'll pull bits and pieces from a number of different jobs and almost form fit a resolve for that particular site, and I'll explain to them why, and I'll lay out in almost in succession what steps they should take. And if more often than not, the contractor will say to me, well, what happens if that doesn't work? And I said, well, we're not at the end of my Rolodex yet. What we want to do is we want to make sure we determine what it took to correct that situation. And we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. So we want to make sure we diagnose. So you're learning as you're going. So this is going to be a more of a learning curve than, and I try to, keep that, the urgency that they had at the beginning of the conversation is now a calmer demeanor, and they're basically um, uh, more or less they have a peace of mind, so that when they speak with their customer, um, the customer is going to be confident for the fact that they have someone that's not just coaching, but just standing behind them. Basically two heads better than
Right.
one, so to speak.
No, I love it, and I love that you started out with just probably the most fundamental, but certainly the most important, just listening.
Yes.
Listening to the individual that's talking to you about the situation, and then you being able to walk them through it, and as you said, give them peace of mind.
Yeah.
Maybe the thing I enjoyed the most from that was just your use of the word Rolodex. I love that.
It's it's
Great reference there. But
I
anyway,
wear a lot of hats. That's why
that's
I
right.
say that.
That's exactly right. Hey,
Uh,
so when you think about a family who is considering radon mitigation, why is it so important? In your own words, because you've seen just about as much as anybody in this industry has seen, if not more. Why is it so important that a family consider a radon
well,
mitigation system?
I think more often now. I mean, decades ago we were sort of standing on a soapbox, but I think now this is the way everybody's now, they're more health conscious. There's a lot of, they're wearing the right sneakers, and they're, running and walking, or they're trying to eat properly and do everything else. They're doing all these things for for their physical body and their and peace of mind. And when radon is mentioned, um, it's extremely important because you're home for many hours during a given day, and when you're sleeping in that home. So why wouldn't you, if you're concerned with what you're putting into your body, I think you should be concerned with what you're introducing into your body, and it could be just the air that you're breathing.
Yeah,
And it's
no,
and radon being one of those things, and it's a simple thing to do. It's an inexpensive test, and a lot of people don't want to know if they do have elevated radon levels or not. But I think you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family to at least do the test. And if the test comes back and it is elevated, there's no need to panic, because there are companies out there that are qualified, that are trained, that do this every day of the week. This is your first time doing a radon test. It's not their first time putting a system in.
That's right. No, that's great. I
Leave it to
appreciate
the
it.
leave it to the professional. You know what I mean? And the thing is, having from the first call and the way that they treat you on the phone and set up an appointment, they'll come out if you need to, and design the system and yeah, the comfort level starts right out of the gate. And the thing is, you want now that you see that you have an elevated level of radon in your home, um, you know, the best time to mitigate is now. I mean, it's just the sooner you do it, the healthier the home that you're going to be living in.
That's right. No, exactly. So let's put our let's talk about the homeowner. Um, Rick, what are some things that as a customer has made a decision to install the mitigation system,
Mhm.
but before that qualified contractor comes to do that work, what are
Sure.
some things that the customer can be doing at the home to best prepare and be ready for that service appointment?
That that actually starts at that the design and proposal stage, because the contractor will explain to you, the system that they're putting in, but the system itself with the pipe, whether it's an interior run where the piping, the PVC piping may go up through common closets up to an attic. It could go from the basement into a garage to a garage attic. It could, in a lot of cases, the fan can be located outside, so you don't have to interrupt any of the finished space, and the fan and the riser pipe will be running up like a downspout to discharge the radon above the roof line. So you have to understand they're bringing in equipment. There are extension cords and vacuums and heavy drills to drill through, typically through a concrete floor, and then they'll explain to you that the concrete floor where it meets the foundation wall, if there are any separations. What we're trying to do is we want to address the perimeter where the floor meets the wall, any crack that may be in the floor, openings, sump holes. It could be, a clean out for your sewer or septic. All those areas need to be accessed. And the thing is, to work in an area, you need sometimes 3, 4, 5 feet of clearance, so maybe they can safely get through, because you're storing stuff in the basement. They may be in cardboard boxes or in containers, but the stuff that's in those boxes are important to you. You have those down there. You don't want any damage happening to your belongings, but yeah, you want to give the contractor ample room to do the job and do it properly.
Yeah, no, that's great. So just being prepared like that will make the
Oh,
installation
it's
go smoother,
absolutely.
quicker. The efficacy of the install, of course, which is what we all want, is improved. So let's fast forward from there. So let's say a customer has they've gotten prepared, and they've selected a qualified contractor. Talk a little bit about how that customer can have the peace of mind that their radon levels will be reduced to a safe level, to where all the stuff you were talking about at the very
Mhm.
beginning of this conversation, they can work, be have peace of mind that that won't exist anymore.
Sure. Um, First off, I mean, uh, the job itself. I mean, most the jobs that I performed when I put the piping in and the system went in, I've had customers walk past my system and ask where, there's almost it blended in with the basement. You have plumbing pipes and other pipes that have similar products. But then on that pipe, there'll be an indicator. It'll be a U-shaped tube. Typically, it's called a manometer, and is a basically it's a gauge. It's a gauge to tell you that either the system is running or it's not. In a lot of cases, there may even be some type of an alarm. But there's going to be a tag and indicators to tell you that you know. Explain to you how to read the gauge and ensure that the system's running properly. But then there'll be a post test that's going to be conducted. So after the system is running for a period, a test is going to be done. And in most cases, there's a guarantee or warranty that's going to be put in place, registered to the address to ensure that the system is running properly and that the post mitigation test is going to come back with a satisfactory level of radon. And that alone, having that peace of mind that the system is now in. You have a qualified, they send it to a qualified laboratory. They're doing an independent test. So the contractor typically doesn't do their own test. They can supply it or have an independent company come in, or you can have your own, the homeowner can hire their own independent contractor to come in, and they can get the report back ensuring them that the levels have been reduced and that the system is running properly. And over the course of time, periodically you want to check that. And it's another suggestion, and it's been for quite a while, the original EPA guidelines, that is a retest every couple of years. So you want to maintain that. You want to make sure that over the course of the years that nothing's changed. If you remodel or something like that, call the contractor back. If you need to, if you put an addition on, it may be able to incorporate that addition with the with the existing system. Therefore, reducing the levels or potential levels in that added living space.
That's right. No, and when all those things are in play, it's a great installation, a mission accomplished, radon levels reduced, customers can breathe easier and have peace of mind. So
It's I was trained back, like I said, more than 3 decades ago, and one of the instructors that I remember, Trudy, she was one of the sweetest person in the whole wide world, and she used to tell us at the end of each class, and she was almost like that first grade school teacher type of, that had that warm feeling. And she goes, you're going to work every day. She goes, you're saving families one installation at a time. And we took it to heart. I mean, we took it to heart back when we were developing the fans and installing, and then now here all these years later, and literally millions of fans came out of this building. There are millions of homes that are safe, that we can say that we had a small piece in that, and in the qualified contractor using a quality product is part of that feel good feeling that you get after the fact, that now that the system is in, that like your family is in fact safe. I mean, it's satisfying, coming from where I'm sitting.
that's right. Well, hey, Rick, Radon Rick, you personally have had a huge impact on that. And we appreciate it. Speaking on behalf of the industry, we thank you for all that you do. But thanks for your time today. This has been very informative, very educational. Again, thanks for all that you continue to do to uplift the industry and elevate the industry. Radon Rick, you've forgotten more than most people will ever know about this industry. So thanks for taking a few minutes and spending your time with us. We truly appreciate it.
Bill, thank you. I mean, thank you for giving me this platform. When you asked me to do this, I was chomping at the bit to get it done, because we're pretty passionate,
I love
here,
it.
and I love my job. So it's you're basically helping people every single day. So it's gratifying, and I thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great day. And thank you everyone for listening in to Radon Rick share his thoughts. Take care.